Okay, so remember, as we go through this, -1, -2, -3, -4, -1 was your axis of symmetry. Put them in order. -1, 0, 1, and 2. Are those in order? They look like they're in order unless I mess something up. What should match? I try to color code it. Outside should match. As you work your way closer, should match its own individual thing. So what would I do? When I go in here to plug numbers into the equation, f of x equals -1/2 x squared minus 1x, what would I put in for x? Easy numbers. Mr. Should I see a fraction? Okay, so let's put an easy number in there. I know I got to use -1 because that's my vertex. I have to use that. But if I had to pick out of all these, I'm not picking any of these negatives because sometimes I stink with negatives. Are you the same or are you great with negatives? But I sure like working with 0, so I'm going to put 0 in for x. 0 is so easy to work with. You guys know all the properties of 0, just sometimes you overthink stuff and you make it harder than what it is. But when I put 0 in, 0 squared is 0, but I have a fraction here. Who cares? 0 squared is 0. What's 0 times a half? What's 0 times anything? It's still 0. Minus, what's 1 times 0? 0. So when I put 0 in, I get 0 back. So, oh, that's 0, 0. Great. And what did we just say about these edges? They should match each other. So the last one I really need to do is I need to do that -1. Okay. So I'm going to copy the equation. F of x equals -1/2 x squared minus 1x. And in for x, I'm going to put a set of parentheses, and I'm going to put a space because we're going to put a number in for it. What number do we still need to use? -1. So we're going to put -1 in for x. Over here, remember, this just tells us what I put in. Over here, this just tells me what I got out of it. I put -1 in. What are you going to get out? Do your math. Negative times negative, this will be positive. 1 times 1 is 1. -1 squared means -1 times -1, which is +1. And I have a -1/2 out front. Okay, we got to finish this over here. -1/2 times 1 is -1/2 plus 1. So you got to take a half and a +1, and you got to take a -1/2 out of a +1. What's the half the same as? If you take half $1 away from me, if I have $1 and you take half of it, what do I got left? If you take a half out of a whole, you have a half left. If you would like, I can make them common denominators, but do you agree 2 over 2 is the same as 1? Isn't 2 divided by 2 is 1? Do they now have a common denominator? Yep. 2 minus 1 is 1, common denominator. So when I put -1 in, I get 1/2 back. Please don't make that all crazy because you see a fraction and you think it's, don't think of it that way. If you need to turn it to a decimal, turn it to a decimal. That's fine too. Decimals are great. Graph the dot 0, 0, 0, 0. 0, 0 is right here. Graph the dot -2, 0. Go back 2. Don't go up or down any. Okay, we're going to graph -1/2. So go to the left, -1. Did it. How do you graph a half? Is it +1/2? Yep, so it means we're going to go up. How much is half? Just barely up any. It's up half a space. So just move up a little bit. But Thrasher, that looks like, no, that's fine. Just go up half a space. Okay? Put your U shape on it. Remember, according to our Blue's Clues, we said it was supposed to go down. This one does. I'm going to do my domain and range. Kids on domain for these quadratics, please go look at every video for domain of quadratics. They've always been this. Unless we're cutting off something off a quadratic, they've always been every real number. The range is your y value. Where does your y value start? What does that dot start at right here? It starts at a half. So where is the graph? Is it above a half or below it? It's below it, so we say less than or equal to. How could you write that in interval notation? Remember, x is every real number is like going from -infinity to +infinity. What is the bottom of the graph? The bottom of the graph goes to negative infinity, and all the way to the top, it goes to positive 1/2. Here's the other way to write it. Okay, there's section 2-4. So when you guys flip that over, here's your homework right on the back side. Graphing. These are exactly the same. A, B. So when you do 1, this is the first thing I would start off as. A is positive 1. B is negative 8. C is a positive 17. I got to make a table. Since A is positive 1, I know it's going to be a regular U shape. Okay, since you're watching this video, I'll give you a hint, because we know there's other kids that aren't watching this video. I don't need this whole table filled in. I only need 3 dots. So it's okay. So I'm going to go 3 dots. Okay. Okay, I need the vertex. And I need the left and the right shoulder. So I need a left and right side. I'm okay with that. And if you don't watch this, probably you're going to do all of it. But if you're watching this right now, that's all I need when you go to turn this in. Okay, I need the vertex and 2 other dots to match them up. And then, hey, these are all things that we already do. Kids, I already know. Look at that. It's a positive 1. So there's my dot. Is that the vertex? Yep, that's the vertex. Is the vertex a low point or a high point? It's a low point. Since it's a low point, what do we call that? We call that a minimum. So over here, you guys already got that I know it's a minimum. Stuff you already know, because you watch the videos, or some kids aren't. Okay? You're so good. All right. If you guys need me, let me know. Get a hold of me. Okay? Remember, log into your Google Meet. Talk to me if you need me. Okay? 3, 2, 1, bye.